Sleeper cell. A group of people sleepers who inconspicuously remain dormant in a community until activated by a prearranged signal to perform acts of espionage, sabotage, and/or terrorism.
さあ、戦闘配置よ。手加減なんて期待しないでちょうだい。
Here's that update on big cost you asked for.
Thanks.
You know, we wouldn't have to jump through all these government hoops to trace Sadiq if you would just let me hack into MI5.
Then we have an international incident and you rot in Belmarsh prison the rest of your life.
Not if I don't get caught.
Someone gonna fill me in?
We've been chasing those passport numbers you obtained from Nuri. Network analysis, travel heat maps, financial transfers.
Bag-biting analytics.
Just tell me what you dug up.
Nothing. Proof positive that I shouldn't be wasting my time kludging through data mining routines. Holy shit.
The engineers are in London.
Still hate analytics? Nice work, Grim. Are all these people connected to Sadiq?
And each other. It's a sleeper cell. Was. They've been activated.
So how do we play it?
I got nightmares in my head, I fear thoughts build up until I can't hear. That my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. Anxiety, filling up every space, no privacy. And silently, it could build and build until you finally see. Whoa, it's taking over, damn no closure, moving closer. No exposure, I just wanna be a loner. Some can't stay sober, looking over all their shoulders, like moving boulders just to get out of the home. It sucks, I've had enough, I don't wanna feel stuck under the rug, all my problems that I shove. I got nightmares in my head, I feel thoughts build up into
火災発生。直ちに消火を。
that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear. That my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough. Nothing's really clear, sometimes it could be a little tough. I just need to feel like the end's in sight for me, but let's be really real, anxiety can foggy all the stuff. I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough. Nothing's really clear, sometimes it could be a little tough. I just need to feel like the end's in sight for me, but let's be really real, anxiety can foggy all this stuff. It sucks when you finally feel like giving up. Oh God, no luck. Everything feels like you're sticky stuck. I'm lost, handcuffed to the bed where I sleep. Don't give a fuck, can't stop. Unplugged, feeling overwhelmed. I think I've had enough. Gotta find a way to get some energy. Gotta find someone who's a good friend of me. Need purpose to make it all worth it. I'm still searching and I'm still learning. I want a life that's filled with memories, not a life with regret in front of me. I need focus to keep me from hopeless psychosis if I keep moping. I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear. That my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear. That my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough. Nothing's really clear, sometimes it could be a little tough. I just need to feel like the end's in sight for me, but let's be really real, anxiety can foggy all this stuff. I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough.
戦闘機を発艦させたわ。敵空母を撃
Hey, what's going on, fellow captains? It's Muse. So today we're going to have a game in the Strasbourg. It's going to be on New Dawn. Forgive me if I'm talking a little fast. There's a lot of information I want to present in this video, and it's going to go by pretty quick. So first things first, I was doing my premium missions, the weekly premiums, and ended up at tier 6 and wanted to take out something I haven't taken out in a while. Strasbourg's been collecting dust, so we broke Strasbourg out. What am I running for a build? It is a Dunkirk reload build. I set that up for Brawl, and after Brawl was over, I took it into Standard, and I really enjoyed it, so I've just never taken it back off. You can do the same thing with Jujard. Basically, reload on the inspirations, Megalomania, every perk you can get for reload, and just cut down the reload as much as possible. You're gonna lose dispersion. To me, on the French battleships, it doesn't make a difference on dispersion. They're very shotgunny to begin with. So they're not ideal for playing at range. They're not ideal for sniping. They're kind of mid-range brawlers, in my opinion, is what they really kind of excel at. You can see here early in the match we're going to start backing up. That's not because we're going to play back of the map sniper. That is to let us see where things are and where we need to go from here. We spawned in the center, carrier game. There was only 2 of us here. I'm not going to just go YOLO into Bravo. So I want to see where I need to take myself in this match. So what we are going to see is that Charlie cap start turning like it just did. That tells us where the DD is. So we're going to go ahead and ping the map and tell our team, hey, DD's over here. This is where the DD is. Our DD's already over here, carrier in the game, 1 DD game. So that's a key piece, a very key piece in this game. So we're going to start heading over to the Charlie cap. As I'm heading over there, I'm looking at the Alpha cap and I'm looking at the Bravo cap. More particularly the Bravo cap. This is a map it's very, very easy to get crossfired off of, especially on the flanks, and especially out of that Bravo cap. You can also take crossfires from the far flank if they play close enough to Bravo. There is 1 cruiser on the Alpha cap that's kind of in between Alpha and Bravo. That I'm not too worried about. If it was a battleship in that gap, I'd be a little more worried about a crossfire that direction. So we're just going to start heading into Charlie, but knowing I don't have to worry about crossfires off of Bravo, that allows me to play more aggressive, and that allows me to make some of the plays I'm going to make here. Because I don't have to worry about getting blasted in my side from Bravo. You can see Nicey's pushing in on his side. He's going to go, looks like through that little gap there. Helena pops up, and Helena is a ship that is extremely dangerous as a cruiser player. It's one of my ships I truly enjoy. Especially to me in a French battleship, it's deadly with fire. So I want this Helena out of here as fast as possible, so I'm just going to start pushing in aggressive here. Again, I know I'm not going to take crossfires off of Bravo. I'm aware the DD is in front of me, so I'm not going to sail on a straight line. I'm going to try to make myself as hard of a target to hit as possible, but I want this Helena gone. This Helena can cause me a lot of problems if I don't get it now while it's out in the open. So I'm not going to back off the Helena. I'm going to push it. And again, just be cognizant there's going to be torps coming from that DD. Right here, we're going to get a nice big juicy hit on this Helena. And even though I don't have it built for dispersion, once you learn the dispersion pattern on the French BBs, it's a very horizontal pattern. You can really hit some nice shots with it. And it doesn't have to be the tightest grouping, the tightest dispersion. Like, you can still hit some really nice shots with it. Here we're gonna go ahead and finish off the Helena. DD popped up for a second, but before I could get the guns on, he went dark. Nicey's over there hurting. We're not too worried about him. He's being dealt with. And I'm gonna ping the map telling the carrier, get me a spot on this DD. And just as I do it, guess what happens? DD pops up, we're gonna back out, and guess what? DD can go join his buddies in Lena. He is going to be out of the game. That is a key piece off the
対応
board.
完了したわよ。敵駆逐艦を
That's
撃
gonna be
墜
our
したわ。
second
左
kill.
舷から魚雷が接近中よ。
Torps go right by because, again, we weren't sailing straight. Nicey's out of there. This whole side is clear. We're going to take this Charlie cap and we're going to start orienting ourselves towards the Bravo cap. That's our next objective here. So first we want to secure this Charlie cap and then we're going to move towards Bravo. Now, my original plan was to go straight into Bravo and help that other side out. Our carrier's going to get a spot on their carrier in their spawn. So instead of going straight to Bravo, I'm going to kind of angle towards the back of the map. I'm not going to make a 90-degree turn and go sailing straight to the back of the map, but I'm going to angle that way. And what I want to do is close the distance down to that carrier to where I can get shots on it. But I also want to leave myself in a position to get back into Bravo after the carrier's been dealt with. So you're going to kind of see me kind of make a 45-degree angle here towards the back of the map. I got to close probably about 3 kilometers to get that in range. Again, I'm a full reload build, so the range on my battleship is stock. Don't add anything to range. I don't add anything to dispersion. Literally a full reload build. That may not be for everybody, but that is the way I like to play my French battleships. Very high DPM. And I just kind of play mid-range. And that's what suits me and what works for me. As you can see in this battle, it worked pretty well. So yeah, carrier's going to go back there, get us another spot on their carrier. And that's going to introduce us to something I want to talk about, which is overpens. And you hear a lot of battleship mains cry about the overpen mechanic in the game. And I'm going to say this, and it's probably going to hurt some feelings, but it's the truth. If you're crying about overpens, it is a skill issue. And I'm going to show you why here in a moment. But when you're stacking your ship with penetration, or you're taking a ship that has a lot of penetration, or you're taking a ship that has big guns, that's all fine and dandy for battleships. But when you start talking about light cruisers with 10 millimeters of armor, it's too much. It's too much. Battleship players have the mentality they want to catch something broadside. You're going to see right here, like 5 overpens, I believe, on this salvo, because it's a flat, lightly armored target. Or I'm sorry, it was the salvo before that. This was a Citadel. But that stuff works fine on battleships. That stuff works fine on heavy cruisers. When you start talking about 10 millimeters of armor, when that is sitting flat to you, and you have a shell with just disgusting penetration, it's going to go through that 10 millimeters of armor like butter, go through the 20, 30 feet of ship, and come out the other side through 10 millimeters of armor and never arm. So while battleship players have the mentality of they want to shoot at something that's flat broadside, that's not always the best shot. And on light cruisers, it is definitely not. And that is why light cruisers are able to abuse the overpen mechanic, because battleship mains see something flat and they automatically just fire at it. Well, instead of just firing at it, wait for it to turn. Wait for it to give you some kind of angle. And when it gives you that angle, it's going to increase the effective armor. And when it increases the effective armor, that is going to give your shell time to arm. And you're going to see that here in a moment with the Pensacola. First, we have to deal with a Hyugo. We get the Ryujo. That's 3 kills. But yeah, when we get to this Pensacola, you will see exactly what I'm talking about. Because when he's flat, I just get overpens. When he actually gives me some angle, he gets citadeled. And as somebody that plays a lot of light cruisers, I can promise you, if you shoot at me when I'm flat, you're going to get almost nothing. Unless you get really lucky, or you're just running a small caliber enough gun that has high enough angle that it doesn't matter. But if you want to kill something like an Atlanta or an Aoba or anything that has that just disgustingly light armor, you're better off shooting it through the bow, shooting it through the stern, or shooting it when it has a very steep angle to you as opposed to flat. And that means holding your shots when it's flat. And I know that's hard for battleship mains. You see that nice flat target, it looks juicy. But you're going to get more out of it when it angles and it has enough effective armor to arm your shells. So when you cry about the overpen mechanics, you're doing it to yourself. You're not timing your shots correctly. And that's a skill issue, whether you like it or not. You can see we go ahead, pop the reload booster. We dumped 3 real quick salvos on Hyuga. Jack Hyuga up really quick, took him from 50% health to nothing on 3 very fast salvos. And this next 4th salvo, we're gonna finish him off. We capture Bravo. This game was very close on points, on caps, and on ships. It is now our game to lose. There we go, we finish Hyuga off. Put another kill on our tally. And now we're going to deal with this Pensacola, and you're going to get to see exactly what I'm talking about with this Pensacola as far as the armor goes. So when he's presenting a flat, right when I go to fire, you're going to see he turns and he goes flat to me. And I'm going to end up with all overpens on it. Right about here. See, he starts turning, so that means he's going to be flat by the time those shells get there. And watch the results. 1 penetration, 3 overpens. Now he's going to stay flat. He's going to keep a slight angle, but it's still not enough to get these shells armed. You can see he has a slight angle to me, but it's just not enough. We get 1 overpen out of it. Now on this next salvo, he starts turning in. He presents a much steeper angle to me. And as I fire, he's going to turn in even more. Right there, you see the turn? And watch the result. Citadel. Kraken. I'll take it. And that's what I mean. He had more effective armor being at that steep angle than he does sitting flat. So rather than just passing through his ship, my shell actually was able to arm going into his citadel. Aoba's out here sitting flat to me. Guess what the result's gonna be? Hey, look, overpens. Surprise, surprise. I could go HE. I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna stay with the AP and wait for him to give me some kind of angle, and we're gonna take advantage of it. Now, I thought he was AFK for a moment because he was just kind of sitting there, but then he actually starts moving again. So I guess he wasn't AFK. Maybe he was just scared of the DD. Not sure. He gets a move on there and get a little something out of it, but he's still pretty flat to us. It's 4 overpens. And on this last shot, he's going to hit the brake and start turning in as I fire. And that's going to give us that little bit of angle that lets us get the nice little shot here. Citadel, pop, goodbye. So that leaves just the California. I positioned myself really well here with this island so that the Aoba and the California couldn't fire at me. Well, they could, but they weren't going to get a whole lot out of it while I was dealing with the Pensacola. And then dealt with the Aoba while still using the island to keep the California to where he had no shots on me. Now we're just going to come out and deal with the California. Our DD's already over there harassing him. I can see on the mini-map he's flat to me, so I have a nice little shot here. So we're going to lob over this mountain and get a nice little chunk out of him, 4 pens. DD slams a whole bunch of torps into him, so he went from full health to no health real quick. And so yeah, when you hear battleship mains crying about overpens, that is purely a skill issue. They're shooting at flat targets that have no armor when they should be waiting for them to give them some... Like, if you wait for them to give the angle, you will get the citadels. Every time on a light cruiser, except for maybe like the Russians, because they're pretty tanky. But stuff like Atlantas and Pensacola's and Aobas and Myokos and just the really light armored ones. So all you need to do is wait for them to give you an angle. Just blast it right through their bow and you'll get citadels. Like, stop firing at flat, you know, cruisers with 10 millimeters of armor and then crying about broken overhead mechanics. California goes down, 6 kills, almost had 7. Had a nice little game. That's all I have for you. I appreciate you. I will catch you next time, captains. Take care. Good hunting. Fair seas.